All-Star is coming up. We have our picks. You and I agreed on most of them, but we have one that we just disagreed on. So here's the Eastern Conference. Our picks are Joel Embiid, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal. And then for that last one, I chose Kyrie Irving. You chose James Harden. Why?
First off, it's kind of a toss-up, right? Like, I really felt like you could have gone either way with this. I think what Harden's done in terms of sacrifice, and not just like dropping 38 points the other night when Kyrie and KD were on the bench, but his sacrifice in adjusting his game. He has taken over and become their point guard. He has become their facilitator and distributor, giving up, he's scoring 11 less points a game basically than last season, but he's done that to become the hub of their offense in a lot of ways. I mean, ultimately, Kevin Durant's their best player. I mean, he just is when they're all healthy. But for me, Harden's sacrifice and everything he's done, I'm willing to make him an East All-Star. In a way, by the way, I probably wouldn't put him in like the MVP conversation, because then I would count what he did in Houston. And like, that would matter to me. In an all-star setting where I'm just talking about who's the best in the East, I'm giving him the break. But if you told me, I don't have a problem at all with Kyrie Irving. Both of these guys are going to make the team, right? Like,
Yeah, it's a no-brainer there. I think when you're leading the league in assists like James Harden is, and you're averaging, 20 plus points, it's very hard to argue with that. My idea was Kyrie Irving is one of the most creative and most brilliant basketball players I have ever seen. What he can do with the basketball is mind-blowing, and he's shown that artistry back on the court this year. He can just score any way. He can score at all three levels. He's unbelievable around the rim, one of the best finishers around the rim, and he has one of the best handles that I've seen in my lifetime. So for me, I think he's the best point guard.
In an all-star setting, he's going to be really maybe more entertaining too, right? Like in an all-star
yeah, for sure.
Which is a pure exhibition where nobody's playing defense. Kyrie's handles and skill become really fun to watch in a way that Harden's kind of old man at the Y game doesn't always necessarily translate.
Well, I don't know. James Harden is a lot of fun one-on-one, but yeah, Kyrie is like NBA Street Volume 2. Every move is an icebreaker, and James Harden just does stuff that doesn't make any sense. Like, he'll just drop 50, and then and just I don't know how he did it. But on the West, we have the same thing. We agree with most of them, but there's that one off. So our list for the Western Conference All-Star starting lineup is LeBron James, Nikola Jokic, Kawhi Leonard, Stephen Curry, and then you went Damian Lillard. I went Luka Dončić. Why'd you go for Dame?
He's been so clutch and so good for a Portland team that's playing surprisingly well and keeps winning games. They're climbing up in the Western Conference. And he's had to do this with CJ McCollum, who started so hot, out. Yusuf Nurkic, the anchor, in the middle, their third best player, out. He has had to take on an incredible load, and he's done it. They keep winning, and he remains the most clutch player in the NBA. Like every week in our power rankings, I'm like, oh, and let's put in a video of him winning a game with a 3 at the buzzer. Like, he does it weekly. Again, coin flip. You could easily have gone the other way with Luka, and I really debated that one. I punished Luka a little for the slow start of the season, I guess, but 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Both of them deserve to be there easily, and I just leaned for Lillard.
Yeah. Oh, that's a nice phrase. Beautiful phrasing there. Yeah, I mean, Dame is clutch. There's no question about it. He's playing extremely well. And shout out to CJ McCollum, by the way. I think he's one of my favorite players in the NBA, and he's balling right now as well for them. But for Luka, I mean, I'm a fan of just, if you're talking about stats and filling out a stat sheet, I mean, Luka, he goes to, a sub shop and orders everything on the, like everything. He gets every topping, every side. That's kind of how he plays basketball. He'll say, yeah, I'll get 9 rebounds. Yeah, I'll be second in the entire league in assists, and I'll average 29 points and be 5th in scoring. He just fills up the stat sheet. And by the way, Kurt, here's a good stat for you too. He's 3rd in fantasy points in the entire NBA.
He's fantastic. As a fantasy player, the way he rounds out the stat sheet is it's triple doubles almost every night. He's phenomenal. I will say, by the way, one other name that not on the guard line. I seriously considered Anthony Davis over Kawhi Leonard for a while. Unfortunately, we're not going to see Anthony Davis probably till after the All-Star break because of they're rightfully going to rest that calf strain and Achilles issue as long as they can, because they need him for the playoffs. But that one was close to me too. I ended up going with Kawhi because dude, if you watched him, he's just phenomenal this season. He has been the best Clipper by far, but I feel like I should at least mention Anthony Davis would have been in the mix too. He will be an all-star, and then they'll have to replace him but he deserves the nod.
Absolutely, he's been playing well. But those are our picks for the Eastern and Western Conference All-Stars. I can't wait to see the game. It should be great. But man, I went Luka, you went Dame. What can we say?
Yeah.
Agree to disagree there.
Exactly.